So as Sam just introduced, the three of us, we're going to be providing a bit of an overview of the future, starting with myself. So I wanted to first sort of give a bit of an overview of what we're investing in. And this is an important, obviously, aspect of our business because we do and have traditionally continued to reinvest in the business, in the product, and in our services generally. So moving forwards over the sort of next 12 months and future beyond, we're going to be looking at investing over four sort of key areas. So these make up obviously development and more R&D in that product space, but also investing in our ongoing improvements around support and success and our account management services and generally ensuring that all of this kind of content that we've been able to produce today grows even further. But also, as our business has to grow and manage the sort of scale that we've been experiencing, looking at also our operations behind the scenes and, of course, our sales and marketing. But really, what's driving this and where this all starts is in our ability to go and scout and recruit really incredible people that add value to both our company, but also to you, our customers. So we have and will continue to source, induct, and provide you access to the best people that we can find. We're also focused on growing our team's diversity whilst upholding and nurturing our existing culture that we've worked really hard to create. And so the people looking into our company and often new staff joining our team, they quickly realise that this is something quite unique and precious about our company's culture. So we're going to continue to invest in making our company a great place to work so that our people can focus on making Schoolbox the best possible platform on the market globally for schools. As always, research and development will be a critical component to our ongoing success. So we'll continue driving product innovation and enhancements, and this is a topic that I think that we'll all be looking forward to hearing and learning more about from James in a moment. There certainly is a gigantic roadmap of ideas and suggestions. As Matt pointed out earlier yesterday, 500 and something ideas, and we only delivered 12 of them. So we've got lots of great roadmap and ideas for us to continue working on. And so we really encourage everyone to continue participating in that help center, in that ideas area, and voting and letting us know what's most important. We're also going to be continuing to focus on automation. So growing exponentially means that we're constantly evolving the way that we have to approach and solve challenges in and around our business. So a workflow that may have worked yesterday might need to change tomorrow or even this afternoon. And that's simply because it won't scale fast enough. And that's why we have and will continue to maintain a large focus on automation. I think Sam's walks around with this big T-shirt that says automate all the things, and that's something that we all sort of try to follow. So by improving automations across the business, we'll also ensure that each time that you engage with us, anyone in our team, no matter what department, that you'll be having a great experience as we continue to grow. We're also going to be looking at our partnerships and continuing to work and build strategies on better engagement with our partners and obviously delivering the most integrated solution on the market. It's definitely a strength of our product. We've got some incredible support from some incredible companies that we work with every day. I am constantly conversing with and building stronger relationships with our partners, and I just want to thank all of them. It's not possible to name all of you, but they're all listed on our website. Or you probably already know them, and I just want to big shout out to all of them for their continued support and working with us to ultimately deliver a better, more integrated solution for you. And we've been working well with others since day one, so we just want to try to continue that trend. And sustainable growth. So we're going to be directing our growth, as always, back into our company and our product. So whilst we need to sustain that growth, we need to look at how we manage that, but ultimately that's going to result in us redirecting all of that growth back into services and products that benefit everyone here. And of course, the direction of scale. And the growth of the Schoolbox community is definitely clear. You only need to look at the rapid rate of this meetup. Mary mentioned earlier that the this event had doubled since 2 years ago. It's actually quadrupled. So it was literally 25% of what it is now. And historically, over this time and with this scale and growth, we have reinvested all of our profit as well back into our company, into our people, so that we can continue driving that innovation. So we're going to continue this. You should expect this from us, and we're going to continue basically feeding our growth and allowing that scale to help us achieve more faster than ever before. So in summary, everyone here is part of the Schoolbox story. I want to thank you all for being a part of this day and of yesterday and this general event. Your Schoolbox community grows stronger every day. So let's continue working together to expand the community and connect more educators and more schools across the world with Schoolbox. Our plan is to continue listening to you, feeding that insight back into our growth and into the business so that we can continue delivering for you. And our entire team really do feel very privileged to work with and support each and every individual across our community. So now it's with great pleasure that I hand over to James Leckie to help us all learn a little bit more about the future of the Schoolbox product. Thank you very much. If you want it, that works.
So I'm here today to talk to you about the Schoolbox product direction and what our vision is for the Schoolbox product. And I just wanted to start by talking about what it is that we believe in as our core principle. And I think this statement summarises it pretty well, that it's all about the pedagogy. It's all for us about improving teaching and learning outcomes, making a system that is engaging and that students end up learning more while using. And also empowering teachers to do a better job in the classroom and empowering them to be able to track, understand and communicate with their students. It's been a great day of seeing examples of how that's been done, and I'm going to keep on that train of talking about what we're doing over the next year and into the future with what Schoolbox will be developing. The first thing I want to talk about though is the user experience. So over the journey with Schoolbox, we've had some great success with user experience. Many people have commented on the ease of use, but admittedly we've also had some failures. We've always worked fairly quickly to resolve those failures, and we've always been responsive to that, and that's something that we take pride in, is that ability to listen when we don't get it right the first time. But moving forward, we don't want to make mistakes. We want to have a good, strong user experience from day one. So as we continue on this journey, we're going to be investing more heavily in user experience up front. What this means from us, it means more research, means more usability testing, it means more user surveys and getting to know your users. It's going to be one of those things that we have to continue to evolve. And you would have seen yesterday with Matt Day's presentation, one of the first, insight affinity mapping events that we've conducted. And that's all about trying to understand our users and get to know them better so that we can then improve the product. From all of this information and research, we do help to build a system that's easy to use, easy to learn, efficient, effective, error-free, and most importantly, engaging. This increased effort will obviously make sure we will reduce our ability to release new features, that's what I'm trying to say, because we will have to spend more time getting features right before we release them. But hopefully it does mean that when we do release those features, they will have higher uptake and more value to you because we spent the time invested up front to make sure that they were the best possible feature that we could possibly build. This trend and this, practice is not going to just apply to the upcoming and new features. We're also going to be going back over the old interfaces and many of the old systems within Schoolbox. I've already spoken yesterday about how we're going to be revisiting the submission system and rebuilding that with more focus on user experience. And of course, we're going to continue to do that throughout the whole system. And I've got a few things that are on my list of things that we definitely need to have a look at. Following all this research and testing, what we hope to do with the features that we do deliver is make them more enjoyable, make them feel more natural to use so that you don't need as much training. We want to make the whole system look amazing. We want to provide more accurate feedback to the user about what action they just took and what event just occurred. So we want to improve that feedback from the interface. We took an important first step last year by dog fooding our own system, and I think Matt through GIFs, talked to you yesterday about dog fooding. But yeah, we do really think that dog fooding is one of those really important UX experiences that you need to undertake to understand your own system and how it functions and how it can affect the users. So dog fooding for us was an important step so that we get to know how our system works when it's being used by teachers and our users. It gave us a new understanding. It gave us empathy for our users, and we now realise from this opportunity that we can seize on something and make it much greater than it is today. Some of the things that we got pointed out to us that we've already jumped on was the list submissions page. Our teachers, when marking your assessments through the Help Schoolbox system, were spending days sorting through that list trying to find the items where students had actually been submitting work. Obviously that wasn't ideal, so we've redesigned that interface to bring those up to the front so they can find them quickly. Obviously we're going to ask for your support in this process. We need your help. We need to understand you. So in order to help us, we're looking for you to help us deliver surveys to your users. So we're going to be developing surveys over the coming year, and we need your help to send those out to your users. So if you can engage with us when we're delivering surveys so that we can get that feedback to understand where the system works and where it doesn't, and help us do that research amongst your users. We want you to participate in feature discussions on the forum, come to testing workshops where we'll be doing usability testing. We'll be putting out invites to come into our office and do workshops on future features. So if you are available, please participate in all these events that we do so that we can get to know you better and deliver a better product. If you are having some sort of pain with the system, we want to know about it. So let us know via support or through the forum of any particular features that are painful for you and your users to use on a daily basis. And just finally to wrap up, I mentioned I had a list of items. I thought I'd go quickly through that list because always people want to know what that list of things is. So the things that I think need the most improvement in user experience currently in Schoolbox include the homepage and ePortfolio interface management. So how you add and remove components, you add text and material to those pages. We think that can be vastly improved and that experience can be simpler. Uploading files and the resource browser can definitely be improved to make that process easier, more visible to what's going on within the management of file uploads. Of course, embedding third-party content is something we want to streamline so that the system's much easier to embed your videos, your Google Drive docs, your Office Drive docs, all of those external resources that you have. We want to make those easier to implement. And finally, we want to look at the search and resource organisation system and improve how the system searches through files and how it shows you those files in the system. They're my top list of things, but if you've got others, let me know. Now, I mentioned before it's all about the pedagogy, and of course, in Schoolbox, it's all about the online learning journey. And I've talked yesterday about projects and how they'll ultimately provide the framework to allow personalisation and differentiation, allowing teachers to create multiple assessments with one common project area, either to allow students to progress over time, be set specific work, or even the ability for students to choose from a series of options so that they can actually personalise their work that they do. The teachers already talked about how we could do that currently in the current system, but we want to improve that workflow so that you have a much better tool set for doing that personalisation. So with all this newfound flexibility with the projects we'll unlock, we obviously need stronger tools to visualise student progress. We're going to have students doing their own journey all over the place. So we're going to need to improve the way that we map to the curriculum, the way that we do summation of results across projects and assessments, and ultimately we want to be able to roll up results from assessment to project to unit and onto the curriculum, so that you can ask questions from the curriculum or at the unit level about where a student is at all the way back to the curriculum. While the assessment is a major part of learning, its real purpose is only to inform you, the teacher, of the capabilities of a student. The message is not lost on us that we need to recognise that we should focus on identifying, providing insights and tracking students' learning progress. Outside of the assessments area, there's many other areas that we can help support teachers to track overall performance. And this is something that we think is vitally important, which is the idea of badges. Giving students awards for their I guess their effort and their attempts and everything else that badges can be used for is an amazing motivator for students and something they can strive to achieve. So we're looking forward to introducing badges over the next year, allowing you to add badges throughout the system onto students' e-portfolios that will live with that student throughout their journey through the school. So you can use badges to track a student's actual achievements through the school. Our badges are going to be built on top of open protocols, so at the end of the school life, the students will be able to export or take those badges with them onto their university or through other protocols and out onto other websites out in the public arena as well. So they'll be able to carry with them your school's certified badges all the way out into the wider world. One of the things that we get asked very frequently is about progression and about looking at student progression. Progression is a difficult question to answer because often we find assessment is not aligned to standards. We've been doing a lot of work with rubrics to try and align our marking to standards, and we're going to continue this work to try and encourage the use of standardisation across assessment practices. That standardisation is going to help us align and our work to the assessment to the curriculum, and then ultimately be able to display where a student has progressed across the curriculum goals. Of course, those curriculum goals don't necessarily need to be just knowledge. They could be a whole range of different skills. So we're looking forward to what schools come up with in terms of the ideas of what they'll be tracking in terms of progression. The example I have up on the screen there shows a student being assessed across multiple skills. Each skill shows the progress over time, so the line graph showing the progress. Hopefully that's going up over time. The box in there is also showing, similar to the box and whisker, the cohort or the class average, so that the student can see where they place within that class level. That's one of the types of visualizations that we're looking to add in over the next 12 months, probably into the continuous report card, so that we can have the option of doing a progression-based graph on that continuous report card. Feedback is obviously critically important within our system, and we've talked a lot about having great feedback throughout the 2 days of the sessions. Within Schoolbox, we're pretty focused on how we can improve the quality of feedback and the timeliness of that feedback. There's many areas that we can see for improvement in terms of feedback. Particular for me, the visualization of feedback, and I just showed you that progression graph, which is a great way to show students how they're actually progressing through the year. But also other forms of feedback, such as self-reflection, peer review, and quiz automatically suggesting possible answers while doing an online quiz. So there's lots of ways that we can actually automate and improve that suggestion and feedback functionality. And also, of course, once again, feedback doesn't always need to be related to the assessment. Badges, once again, will provide another form of feedback and open up new opportunities to provide rich feedback to students. Just to wrap up and to summarise, I'm keeping this short. As always, we look forward to the future, and we want to continue to build a powerful system to increase learning outcomes. We hope you, of course, will join us and help shape the journey into 2017. Remember, your feedback is important, and we will continue to shape this journey based on your feedback. So please contribute, get involved, come to these events, and look out and participate in the forum for things that are going on, because the more feedback that we have, the better that we can create Schoolbox. Now, I'm going to hand over to Matt Sambell, the other founder, and he's going to take you on a wonderful gift journey through the future of customer success.
Thanks, James. Thanks, Sean. Thanks, everyone. This is just a quick 5 minutes to wrap up future of customer support and success. So I am the customer success and the support and success manager. So yeah, the first topic is strategies for customer success, immediate and long term. It's basically about the customer journey, always is with us. It's about achieving customer success. So one of the initiatives is always continuing to scale the success and support team with the business. Our mantra is 20 customers per support agent, which is ensuring the quality of support is maintained long term. That's the happy customer. Support, consulting. Just like to touch on that. We've been recently growing the consulting team, the consulting services, ensuring risk adverse. So thanks to the consultants, we're always looking to grow that service. And account managers as well, +1 for account managers. That's something new that we've brought on board just recently with Inda and now Roberto, and so we'll be strengthening these services into the future. Also, the local user group meetups are good for wining and dining and eating and chatting and hanging out. So there's just, the local user forums helping you connect with more schools. So look out for more of them popping up. We hope to organise many more of those. Best practice. It's just ideas for using Schoolbox. We're looking at releasing a Schoolbox Live best practice instance. So it'll be an instance you can log into and check out. And it'll be inspiration taken from our experience and clients' experiences. So it'll give you ideas for using Schoolbox. And it's always about sharing means caring, and more sharing and collaboration via help. More sharing means more caring. So yeah, just continuing to use Schoolbox Help, sharing your experiences. And James touched on it before, user research is something we're really keen to get more into, working with you closely, researching on your users and how you use Schoolbox. Anna mentioned before, and Megan, the Schoolbox administration course for super users, essentially. It'll show you all about the technical side of administering Schoolbox, and we're looking forward to that coming soon. Evolution of our guides. Quickly just touch on that. So I suppose in the past, documents were slow to evolve as we released new features, major releases. Sometimes, it hurts to admit, sometimes we wouldn't even release documentation for a feature years ago. Bit of disorganisation maybe, and so we've come from there in the past. And lessons learned, even recently we transitioning from version 15 to 15.6. We definitely could have been more in tune with communication surrounding changes and evolving the documentation to support updates. So now major releases are released alongside with guides on how to use the new features. So around the time major releases are released, our team, our document team, are working hard to keep the guides up to date. Next up, intuitiveness. James mentioned it before. I just wanted to point out this is an IKEA guide. We're keen to make the product more intuitive so that it means less, no need really, or less need, less reliance on guides on how to use the product. If the product is more intuitive, Sarah and myself, we bought an IKEA bunk the other night. That was part of the instructions actually. And it did take 3 and a bit hours to build. But the instructions were quite intuitive actually, I thought. And so we got the bunk built. We've got just the first level until Esther grows up. So yeah, we're looking to make, in future, always making Schoolbox more intuitive to use, less reliance on reading and learning how to use it. And finally, more support channels. In the future, that's what it's all about, more channels for support, diversity of support. Looking back over the years, the things that have changed the most is the amount of channels that you can get help through. So traditionally it's just been tickets and phones, or when you hang out with us, when you catch up with us, you pass on, you submit requests in person. In the future, we've always had the help desk. Now we've got Schoolbox Help, the courses, forums, consultants, account managers, teacher trainers, and user groups. And we're looking to expand that even maybe into more topical webinars. So yep, all about improving our support expertise and more availability for professional services. And I suppose I couldn't finish. A shout out to Nadia. She really appreciated my He-Man GIF. So I found a really good one this time. We hope to develop our channels into even more powerful support. And we've managed to get Shira in there as well now. So yeah, we hope to develop our channels into even more powerful support. So I guess that just finishes up with, it's all about our team and making sure our team is the best equipped to help all our schools ongoing. So thank you.